#1 Sheriff in Texas by Patricia Thayer. Narrated by Brian Hutchison and directed by Teresa Buchheister.
Chapter 1. Brandon Randell sat in a booth at the coffee shop, toying with his mug. Anything to keep from looking across the table at his dad. Lately, they hadn't even been able to share a meal without ending up on this same subject. The same argument. And Brandon couldn't tell him what he wanted to hear. "I'm not sure I want to take over the running of the ranch." "Well, son, when do you think you'll know?" Brandon hated being cornered about this. Again. He met his father's piercing, dark gaze. Though in his mid-50s, he looked much younger. Still big and intimidating, the years of physical labor had kept him in great shape. Some gray mixed in with his coal-black hair, and weathered lines around his eyes were the only differences he'd seen in the man in the past 25 years. That had been the day Cade Randall walked into his life and claimed him as his son. Brandon leaned back in his seat, feeling the sudden weight of his sidearm, reminding him of his responsibility to the people of Tom Green County, Texas. He'd barely had a chance to stop for supper tonight. He'd hoped the pressure to follow in the family's ranching business had eased 10 years ago when cousins Luke and Brady Randell returned to the valley and helped form the Randell Corporation. "I have commitments, Dad." He hesitated, then rushed on to say, "This is my last week on patrol. I start as a detective on Monday." Cade blinked, then quickly covered his surprise. "When did this happen?" "I got the news this morning. I didn't want to tell you and Mom about the promotion until I was sure it was a done deal." "Well, congratulations, son. We've always been proud of your work with the Sheriff's Department." There was a hint of a smile. "And your mother will be happy you're off patrol." "Thank you, Dad. That means a lot to me." Again, his father nodded. "All the more reason to settle this situation. You have a commitment to the family, too. Your grandfather willed the ranch to you," he stressed. "I've been running things along with your brother, but you're past 30, son. You should take it over or sell." Hell, even more pressure. Well, he was the eldest, the next generation of Randells. Sell part of Mustang Valley? Isn't there a law against that in this family? He tried to tease, but his dad didn't show any sign of humor. "Joke all you want, but since your last birthday, legally you own the land that the Randell Guest Ranch and the cattle operation grazing pastures are on. It's not fair to ask your brother to keep running things on his own. He's been working as the foreman. You need to make a decision, Brand." Before Brandon could speak,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?